As a sad Cavs fan, we have the second least cap space. It's true. And trading Kevin Love would help that, and there is room. I don't know what rumors means. So which team do you think the Cavs would trade with, and what would both teams get? What do you think there, Jimmy?
Oh, man. A lot of questions coming in.
So let's focus on the main one there. Who makes sense as a Kevin Love trade partner?
Man, if the Charlotte Hornets want to just say, look, Kemba, we'll do anything you want to try to help you win, they make some sense for, I guess, the Charlotte Hornets, more so than the Cleveland Cavaliers. A team you threw out earlier, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Why don't you give me that?
No, that was a fake one from James here, because that doesn't make sense to send it back there. The Trailblazers, though.
Oh, that's right.
That
okay,
one makes sense.
I was getting my trades mixed up. Okay,
I think that is the best route there, because they don't have any cap space to add in free agency. But if you bring in Kevin Love, you're taking on a big contract there. I think it's a worthwhile risk, and you send out first round pick, and then maybe you bring in or send out another bad contracts like maybe a Mo Harkless and like a Myers Leonard. That ends up making it work there in the end for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I actually like that.
All right, from Hagan Scott. Will Phoenix have a chance at Kemba? No.
Maybe D'Lo.
They have to free up more cap space too, which I don't. And they could trade Josh Jackson. That gets them pretty close there.
Yeah, you can trade him into thin air because nobody's taking him on.
All right, from Saquon. Should the Lakers go for D'Angelo Russell? I say yes, but I'm also here for the memes. So
I say yes too.
Yes, there we go. Jimmy's
also, from a basketball standpoint, I do think he would be a good fit. I think it'd be a fun fit. He and Anthony Davis for the long term actually makes sense in LA, as much as I hate to admit it.
All right, from Andrew Swindler. What's the best case scenario for the Kings?
The whomst?
The Kings.
Ah, the Kings.
Yes.
Sacramento Kings?
Yes.
Oh,
of course.
Best case scenario.
Trolling.
You get a big man. Nikola Vucevic makes. We were arguing Vucevic or Vucevic yesterday.
I'm pretty sure it's Vucevic.
I just said Vucevic pretty naturally, so that's what I'm going to stick with.
I'm right.
Nikola Vucevic in at center makes some sense. I think Al Horford would also be a good option
theory,
for them.
That the Kings are the mystery team for Al Horford out there.
It would not surprise me. Go get a big man and then
bring back
go
Harrison
from there
Barnes.
and bring back Harrison Barnes. Those are your two best options.
I think that's a good outcome there for the Sacramento Kings. All right, Famous Jones. What are the ways Houston can trade CP3?
If he goes back in time about 5 to 6 years and somebody's like, oh man, he's back, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to actually find a trade partner.
Very difficult. Yeah.
This contract is so bloated. All you would be doing is freeing up cap space.
Well, and apparently now all of a sudden he doesn't want to get traded and they don't want to trade him. Now all of a sudden they're all happy again and they want to stay in Houston.
Someone's lying. So, all right, William A. Hooper. Who should Dallas sign, but also who do you think Dallas will sign?
Ooh, nice little plug here for my Twitter. All things Mavs. Go give me a follow if you want some more Mavs takes from me.
Our producer.
Thank you, producer Alicia. Who should they sign? Kemba Walker. I think that'll be plan A for Dallas this summer. Who do I think they will sign? I believe Kemba Walker is the second most realistic option this summer. I think the most realistic option is Patrick Beverley is going to be your starting point guard next season. And then they'll go out and get some other players like a Julius Randle maybe, like a Bojan Bogdanovic from Indiana. So Beverly plus a couple other role players. I think that is the most realistic scenario. And I think Mavs fans should be elated with something like that. Third option. I've got 3 major options that I think will happen in Dallas this summer. Number 3, Tobias Harris, I think will be the other guy that they target. And Shams Charania has said that the Mavs are a team to watch out for, along with the Memphis Grizzlies, the New Orleans Pelicans, and then Philadelphia 76ers, of course, want to bring him back.
How worried are you about the Boston getting in the mix for Kemba Walker thing?
I'll be honest. I always thought that Charlotte had the upper hand anyway, so I was kind of like, okay, the Mavs don't really have a chance. But I do believe now that the Mavs have a chance, I'm not that worried about Boston, to be honest. I don't think they're as serious as some people think.
All right, folks, let us know in the comment section what your favorite NBA team is. Jimmy, of course, no surprise with your burner account at all_things_Mavs. You know, I kind of grew up, I guess, a bit of a Cavs fan because LeBron James was fun to watch and they were close to me. Pacers were like the games I would occasionally go to because they were closer to me in Cincinnati than actually Cleveland was. But as I've said before, I feel like it's cheating to say that I'm a fan of any one team. That's kind of disrespectful to other true fans out there. Shout out to people here. Andrew's a fan of the Spurs. Trying Perfection is a Kings fan. Richard Safari, Cavs. Carson's a Hornets. William's a Mavs fan. My Glass Godly, Lakers. No surprise here. GS49 Sports, fan of the Warriors.
Oh, okay.
Zach's 76ers. Zogod, Knicks. Saquon is also a Lakers fan. Jacob Walls, Timberwolves. Gary's a Lakers. So thank you all. Keep this coming in the comment section.
You know, here at Chat Sports, we're slowly but surely becoming Sacramento Kings fans, I think I would say. So look out for some good Kings coverage coming soon to Chat Sports.
All right, Micha Levy, would the Knicks offseason still be a win if they just get KD?
Yeah, huge win.
I don't think it'd be a loss.
I think it's a huge win.
Okay.
Because they've never gotten their main guy that they wanted, and KD is, even if he's hurt, he's the second best player, or the second best option in free agency right now, right behind Kawhi Leonard. So, yeah, I think you should absolutely consider a win if you're a New York Knicks fan.
All right, Buddy Rare, do you think the NBA will go to 58 games? This was from the report earlier today about the ESPN, or not ESPN report, the NBA owners were discussing, governors were discussing different ideas for the NBA, and like they offered up, well, what if we did 58 games? And the governors were kind of like, no, because that just cost us money in the end there. They also briefly mentioned the idea of a mid-season tournament to make it like soccer, which I also I think that was met with, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. I do think eventually the season will be shortened. I don't think it'll go drastically down to 58 games, though.
All right, Richard Safari wants to know, will the Washington Wizards trade Bradley Beal?
The latest is that they're going to give him an extension, and he wants an extension. So, if you had asked me at the beginning of the offseason, I would have said, yeah, absolutely. But now I'm going to say no. I think he'll stick around in D.C.
All right, from Hagan Scott here, will the Jazz get anyone? Depends on if they keep Derek Favors or not.
Well, and now Mike Conley's there. That was kind of your get for the summer. I think they should just stand pat with Conley, Donovan Mitchell, keep Derek Favors, roll out with Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, Joe Ingles. That's good. I think that should be good enough for Jazz fans.
All right, from Taurean Whitfield, who are the we'll go to Chris Jones. Back to Taurean Whitfield there. Who are the three-point shooters the Bulls could add in free agency?
Do you count Patrick Beverley as a three-point shooter? He is, but that's not what he's known for. So I'd say
I'll allow it, but you have to give me somebody else too. How about Corey Joseph? Does he count? That's kind of the same answer, but different. I don't think the Bulls are going to be a super alluring destination for just your Kyle Korver type spot-up shooter.
He's been there before.
Or your Danny Green or your J.J. Redick type shooter.
Yeah, those are the three-point shooters on the market right now. Terrence Ross, I'll throw that name in there.
Okay.
He actually shot really well from three-point range, so I'll throw him in there.
All right, Chris Jones wants to know, what does it mean to renounce a player? So the NBA has cap holds for all free agents. So, for example, the Orlando Magic, Nikola Vucevic is a free agent, but he has a $19 million cap hold that for now does impact their cap space. Now, what the cap hold allows you to do is allows you to retain the player's bird rights, i.e. what allows you to go over the cap to re-sign them. So the Magic right now technically are over the cap by $45 million, as weird as that sounds, because they have a $19 million cap hold as the number that impacts their money there. But because of that figure, they can re-sign Vucevic for a max, or they can re-sign Terrence Ross for a max deal. But to renounce a player, that gets them off the books altogether and frees up cap space. So for example, for the Magic, Aaron Aflalo has a $1.6 million cap hold. They're just going to renounce that and not even worry about it going forward. But that's how you actually get to freeing up a player. You would keep the cap hold if you want to re-sign somebody. You would renounce it if you want to free up that money to actually go out and sign somebody in free agency. So it's really just a bookmaking thing in the end.
It's our cap expert, Tom Downey.
Trying Perfection wants to know, where will Willie Cauley-Stein suit up next year?
You want a sleeper team?
Okay.
Boston Celtics.
I think Boston makes sense, actually.
Dang it, not my sleeper team. Yeah, sleeper team.
How about the Pelicans?
No.
Wrong. I'm right.
I'll say Boston Celtics.
How about the Hawks?
Ooh, yeah. I like that team too.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, from Carsen Humphries, if Kemba goes for less than the Supermax, which he's hinted at, could they build an okay team around him? Also, okay, do that one first.
Yeah.
Then I'll get to the second one.
No, because I've said this before on the show. If you watched, you know the answer. If you're subscribed, you definitely know the answer. If Kemba Walker, let's say he signs for a vet minimum deal, which isn't going to happen because he's going to get a max. they still could only sign other players to as much as the mid-level exception. That is the most they could offer anyone.
They're over.
You cannot build around Kemba Walker right now because you don't have the money. So unless it's via trade, which is the next part of this question, no, you cannot build around Kemba Walker.
What they could get for Batum and Marvin Williams, other bad contracts.
Yeah.
Those guys don't have any value.
Yeah. Unless, like, I think there are potentially contenders that might be interested that are willing to pay them.
Even maybe Marvin, but even then you still have to ship out a bad contract in exchange. So maybe you could get like a pick back. Like you could do a pick and a bad contract for Marvin.
Like a second-round pick in 2023.
Doesn't do much for you in the end.
Yeah.
All right, from Jorge, who do you think the Oklahoma City Thunder will sign?
So the Thunder have no cap space. Zero, zilch, nada. So probably nobody. I mean, the Thunder's biggest asset this summer was the NBA draft. And I think, and I know Thunder fans believe this as well, that they screwed up the draft by taking Darius Bazley, a guy who's not NBA ready and he's not a shooter, which
yeah,
is
a weird fit.
All they needed, and they didn't do it. So, unfortunately, I don't know who or, I don't know who they're going to sign, if they can sign anybody.
Even if they find takers for Steven Adams, Dennis Schroeder, and Andre Roberson, they have, still no money.
Your biggest signing is the fact that Andre Roberson's going to be healthy.
Yeah, it's true. So, all right, from RavenBlaze YouTube, who should the Pacers sign? You mentioned him earlier. I think D'Angelo Russell would be a great fit.
Yeah, that's who I'm going to stick with from here on out. I think there is a potential that a guy like Sabonis could get moved this summer because they just drafted Batadze and Miles Turner's already there. So maybe Sabonis is like, hey, I love the organization because he does, and he was Sixth Man of the Year, but I think he's going to be like, I think I'm ready for a bigger role. Can you guys trade me? So I think that could be the biggest move outside of a D'Angelo Russell
If
signing.
they miss on a Russell, how about Malcolm Brogdon and make him into a full-time point guard?
I like that. Or just bring back Bojan Bogdanovic. I think that's very realistic as well.
All right, folks, make sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. Get us to 120K. That is the figure that we want. We're going to be live multiple times during NBA free agency, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Jimmy, this is the best channel out there.
Bar none.
Find us a better one. Yeah, exactly. You guys can't. We'll be live again multiple times during free agency, including when things kick off 6 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday.